All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for all of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in the Forex market. So if you're all set and ready to go, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So if everybody can hear me loud and clear, do me a huge favor, drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you are ready to go for this morning's session and we can get things on their way. All right, so my sound check is good. Good morning, everybody. All right, so it is Thursday, November the 9th, and we are going to jump right over to trading economics. So we see consumer prices fall again in China, right? Consumer prices dropped by 2.2% year over year in October, compared with a flat reading in September and market estimates of 0.1% of a 0.1% fall. The cost of food declined the most in 25 months amid ample supply and slowing consumption following the Golden Week break. Meanwhile, factory gate prices were down 2.6%. So we had the Golden Week break, so that might be a little bit skewed. So we'll continue to watch that. European stocks bounce back on Thursday. UK house price balance improved slightly in October. And then we've got Japan account surplus, current account surplus highest in 18 months. So some decent news there for Japan. Let's flip over. The biggest thing for today, U.S. unemployment claims. And then we've got Chairman Powell speaking today. Yesterday, he didn't say too much. It was just like an introduction for some of the things that I was reading, but some more important things may come up today during the speech at 2 p.m. So just, hey, it's a red folder. There may be some volatility. So let's see what happens there. And then tonight at 7:30, the Reserve Bank of Australia has the monetary policy statement coming up. So that's going to be big. And then going into tomorrow morning, the 10th, we've got GDP numbers coming through month over month out of the UK. There were some, what was it that I saw this morning? I think it was, let me see. Let me check news. Oh, here. For the Bank of England from Pill. So he said that and he's a Bank of England member. So policy tightening is now bearing down on inflation. His opinion, we need to deliver the restrictiveness of monetary policy embodied in the BOE's forecast for falling inflation. So they're expecting inflation to continue to come down. But here's the key. We do not need to raise rates to bear down on inflation. Assume rates stay restricted for extensive periods. So that's falling in line with a lot of the other central banks. Hey, we may not necessarily have to raise rates, but the levels that we are at in regards to interest rates will remain at that level for quite some time. Meaning, hey, we'll keep it here. Don't look for interest rate cuts too soon. All right. So that was very, very important coming from one of the BOE members. That was 3:48 a.m. this morning here in the United States. So that was I thought that was pretty interesting. Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, bro. I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Anything on the fundamental front? Not too much last couple days.
Not a ton, but some notes from the Bank of Japan
Mm-hmm.
on kind of where they stood policy-wise from the meeting minutes. And some of the members, they debated on starting to prepare for what the exit of their loose monetary policy would look like. So they're starting
Okay.
to have those conversations along with waiting on that wage negotiation. So still got some time to go, but some of that's still happening or starting to happen in the background.
Got it. So slowly but surely.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then also today, right, we've got unemployment claims coming through for the United States, just to go back on that. That's always an important number. Forecast is 218,000. So let's see what happens there. Any questions on anything going on fundamentally? Anybody in the group? Oh, we're all good there. All right. So usual cycle of things in regards to fundamentals. Let's click over and take a look at the DXY. We got a bounce, right, on that dollar, right? So so that's what, 1, 2. Well, coming into today, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now we're in the fourth day of the dollar, the DXY, showing some upside momentum. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that as it continues to bounce back and forth. So you see we're recovering quite a bit, right? So we're right back up within that range. So we'll see if we get the momentum to continue to carry long on that USD. So the continuous ebbs and flows of the US dollar through a lot of things that's going on around the world. So we'll continue to see that. But right now, it's looking bullish to start the day. We'll see what happens when the market opens in the United States. Any questions on the DXY?
No, sir.
Give me 1 second, everybody. I gotta grab a new ink pen. My ink pen ran out. So let's go. Let's hop into the charts. Take a look at some of these pairs. I want to take a look at start out. Let's look at the Aussies. Let's take a look at this Aussie yen setup that we've been tracking here on the 4 hour. And we can see that we're moving along pretty good on the Aussie yen. So if you're in this Aussie yen setup, it's a bigger move, right? We've got 136 pips to TP1. It's ranging a little bit, but you can see in this latest 4 hour candle, it's trying to move down. So that's moving pretty good on the Aussie yen. Like I say, just continue to manage your trade according to your trade plan. So that's an 80-20 sell on the Aussie yen. So it's still correcting to the downside. We've got about we got here 657 pips or so to TP1. Any questions on the Aussie yen? Nope. All right. So that's one of the setups. We'll stay with the Aussies. We want to go and take a look at our Aussie NZD. This one's taking a while, but it's starting to move in our direction. So there. Now, it's taken a while. It's bounced around. We broke trend line and it's been moving down ever since. What I'm going to do, right? This is what I'm going to do for this setup. We are coming into a daily support level at 107.80. Okay, so if we come out to the daily, look at our levels here. Okay, see that's a past level that it's coming back to. This is 107.80. Our momentum is starting to slow on the daily when we look at our stochastic. So what I'm going to do on this is as we approach this 107.80, I'm going to close out part of my position on the Aussie NZD, right? Probably leave 25% of it, 40%, right? And for the remaining, drive down to TP1, stop loss already adjusted, right? So I don't want to stop here anymore. At this initial level, I want to bring this stop down to either break even or into profit, right? So for that 25% that's remaining, okay, if the trade decides to kick back and give me a bounce off that 107.80, it'll stop that remaining 25% out in profit. Any questions on the Aussie NZD? Everybody follow me on that in regards to the trade management. Yes, no? Okay. Right? Because it's moved quite a ways now. And we know it's still a support and resistance game. Now, could it hold at that 107.80, pull back quite a bit, and then continue down to TP1? Of course, right? But I'm going to go ahead and take some money off the table and secure the bag a bit on that. All right, so that's the Aussie NZD. Okay. I want to go in and take a look at this cat Swiss that Ryan posted yesterday in the Discord. I believe it was yesterday, right, Ryan? That was yesterday.
Yep, I posted that
Yep.
yesterday.
Yeah. So that was a quick mover here on the 15. This is close enough for me. I closed out this position, right? So we're probably going to get there, right? But that was within what, 2 pips, right? So that one I am out on, but that's a beautiful 80-20 swing, right, to the upside. So Ryan, appreciate you posting that one. That was a pretty fast one too. That gave us a little bit of everything, right? It gave us the bounce off the level, and then it gave us a pullback and gave us a nice ABCD wave. You can see we have a new AB boundary now. So I got out of it, but that could be a continued mover to the upside with the because it's the cash Swiss. We know how it's been playing around in this range, right? So I am out of that one for now. Any questions on the cat Swiss? That was a good one. I like those. That one moved fast. In and out of that one. Nope. No questions.
So, sir.
All right. Some work. Up big this week in regards to when we're looking at the pips, right? Another one I want to take a look at is the what was it? All right, the pound Swissy. So this was a larger move here. Okay. So you guys just see when you narrow your focus and you're focusing in on that one thing, right? One type of setup, that one look. This is a big mover, right? We ran into TP2, okay, here on the 4-hour. Okay, so that was approximately 310. And then if you come down here to the 30, right, you had another setup here that cracked, right? Your TP1. See that? And now we're moving down, but we're not worried about that though. Right. So we hit it on multiple levels. This one has been a good one, right? So you've got previous 80-20 there on the 30. This one just hit a TP1, and then you had the larger move on the 4-hour to the upside. And then you can see here what's crazy is, and I'm not even playing this one, somebody might be, but here on this sub fib moving, you got a 236 retracement here. Oh, and we got to bounce off that monthly support level at 109.99. Okay. We pushed up to our 80-20 zone. And now we're looking like we're trying to move back down. Okay. Move back down there. So that's actually was another potential setup because that one's on the move now. Okay. So everybody see that? Let me move these out of the way. Because that one's already done this thing. Right. So everybody sees it. Okay, good. All right. Just wanted to make sure you got some clarity. And now we're looking like we're moving back down. So this is one that I missed an opportunity on here. But back down to that 382 is 146. It's a pound pair, so it's moving. All right. So let me see here. TP. I mean, the stop, call it 75, 146. We continue to move down, 194 to TP2. So we'll see, right? It's got to get past that 109.99 to get to that TP1, but that's a possibility. So that's the pound Swissy. Any questions? Getting good price action. Really good price action. And, oh. Stuck in the Aussie NZD. No, I only one stuck in the Aussie NZD. No, JC, I'm short Aussie NZD.
Hey Benny, I'm sorry. I'm talking to from a screen view. The screen is stuck on AN.
Nope,
Oh,
mine is moving.
your Aussie NZD. Okay, I got you. Is everybody's screen moving?
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
that's what it is. I'm
JC.
sorry, screen. Yes, my screen is stuck on it. Sorry.
Everybody else good? That's okay. That's okay. So maybe just restart now. Now my smart trader, you can see like when I'm switching, my screen is switching a little bit slow. So maybe you got to pause in your smart trader, maybe just reset it.
Okay, I'm on CAD Chef now. Is that where you are?
Nope, you got a delay going on. I actually switched back to the Aussie NZD.
Okay, all right. I'm a log out and come back in.
Okay,
All right.
cool. All right. Anybody else having that issue? Just want to double check, make sure we're all good. No? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So let's move on. The Aussie dollar setup just missed that one actually because I had moved my stop up, took me out, but got out on that Aussie dollar. But here, right? So we came within a pip or whatnot, but we may like it's pushing down. It may move back up, to the top side again. But that one, if you weren't able to get out of that one, that was a bummer because that came within a pip of the TP. Right now, if you set your TP levels just before, like we talked about a while back, just before the fib level, then you probably were able to get out of it. But sometimes it depends on your broker. But that one got close to that TP1, and then it reversed out on us. But still holding that zone, so we'll see if it makes a return. Not sure. We're getting a dollar move to the upside to start the day on the DXY. So that's that on the Aussie dollar. Any questions on that one?
Hey Benny, one thing I'm tracking on this one is I guess makes sense for the move down is on the 4 hour. You got a sub fib running from the bottom, and that's an 80-20 move coming down.
Okay. Off the 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I missed that move altogether, but that makes sense on that push down on the lower time frame.
I got you. Plus overall short anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we already got almost a 61.8 pullback. It just pushed a little higher in the zone and came down. So the overall long-term swing, right, in direction is down, right? When you look at the strength in the dollar. So it may pull back, but it may just continue down, like you're saying, off this move. So they're everywhere, man. They're everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So that's that. This is let me look at that from the daily. So we're right. We pulled back right at a 382. So we're probably gonna get a continuation down, right? We'll get some pullbacks along the way, but a continuation down since the long-term move on that is bearish. So that's that on the Aussie dollar. Take a look at the US 30 real quick, the Dow, because this one is still hovering around the 80-20 zone last time I looked. But with that dollar move, we continue to get dollar bulls. This one may drop, but what we need to get below some levels, right? So we're in the zone, and right around the 80-20 zone, but you guys can see how this is moving sideways, right? So we got, what's that, 34,000? That's a daily level. We got a 1 hour level here at 33,989, and we're getting a bearish candle here in this 1 hour. This is going to be interesting to see once we get New York rocking and rolling today. But I would love to see that come down. Right now. So just be patient with this US 30 setup. But that could be a huge one if we get it to move in a downward direction. Any questions on the US 30? No?
No, sir.
All right. Just wait, because that's what it's doing, right? We got a fight between the Bulls and the Bears right now. So let's be patient with that one. It's a big move if it moves south. So we've got time on that one. All right, we've got some time. Just want to check in on the Euro Aussie setup, because that one is still running, right? And I hope you all can see that these zones are powerful because it gets you in at really, really good prices, right? So you can see this one is still bid to the upside. We are through TP2 and on through TP3, which is our A boundary now. So you're looking at over, right out of that zone, over 200 pips at this point, moving. So that is your Euro Aussie, and your larger move, your larger swing, right, is to the upside, right? Now, don't forget, right, we've been tracking this to do what? Move back to that weekly 382 eventually. So we got back down to this trend line, right? We remember the huge correction that we played on our lower time frames, and now we're kind of just moving sideways. And this week has been fairly bullish. So that's still the long-term upside target. We're just picking the charts off all over the place on the lower time frames, doing what we do, right? So this is a continued move to the upside right now. Any questions on the Euro Aussie?
No, sir.
Okay. We got JC back. All right. So let's keep rolling through these. Just to review these Euro CAD scenario here. I want to take a look at it. I know we looked at some things on the lower time frames, but I want to show you guys how, no matter what the time frame, it plays out. So if we go to the Euro CAD and take a look at the daily, look at how, right? You guys remember this from a while ago? Look at how that's carried through 2 TP levels. That's an 80-20, right? On a higher time frame move. Okay. Right. You're gonna trade this one smaller. It's a larger move. Before stop loss at 182 pips. Look at the yield on that. Okay. So out of that zone, okay, we've moved over 500 pips, almost 600 pips to the upside on the Euro CAD. Can everybody see how playing that zone, right? That one zone, if you're buying, it's giving you a great low price. If you're selling, it's giving you a great high price. Everybody follow me on that? Drop me a 1 in the chat. We're really playing extreme levels, and we're looking for price to reverse. Okay, we're looking for that price to reverse. Okay, so if we look here, right, it's carrying through. Right, it's moving to the upside on our 4. Okay, but you were able to, right? Here we are here, right? Able to pick off some of those moves. That's an 80-20, came right in between the zone and dropped, and then it continued long, right? So you can see short-term moves And then you've got your longer term swing, the big picture, right? That's why top-down analysis is important. All right. Hopefully it's all coming together for you guys. Hopefully it's all coming together. This is, I want to take a look at the Euro Swissy. Our direction was right on that one. We have marked that one up, but it never hit our zone, right? On the Euro Swiss. So this was the original markup. So this one's dead in the water in regards to 80-20. We didn't work our way up to the zone, but we reversed off the beat boundary. So it made a good move to that TP1 level, but we didn't get that push up. So just wanted to check in on that one because we did mark it up coming out of the weekend. So we never got what we wanted, but it's all good. All right. Any questions on the Euro Swissy?
No, sir.
Benny, I
Right.
do have
Mm-hmm.
a general question. So on that ECAD chart that you have, for example, when we get up into, like, when we play in those 80-20s and it get to the deep retracement zone, it's almost to that A. It's like, how can we, should we use trend lines to differentiate the movement to see if it's going to continue further to push out that A? Or even if a swing high, because like right there, you got a swing high, it's a low swing high, you got a swing high right there, and then it pushed up a little bit more. How will we be able to test the sentiment that A might get taken out or prices really reversing?
I would just, from a technical perspective, you can use trend lines, but the key thing that I want you guys to get used to doing is if you're gonna stay in it, like reduce your position or manually move your stop, right? Because sometimes we don't know. Like if you look at the price action on this, right? Look at it, right? You see how crazy it's been?
Yeah.
Right. The 80-20 just led us into a low price at a key level of support, and then it took off from there. So what I would be doing is I would be moving that stop, right? In my remaining position, if I have it. If you're one position, I would be moving that stop up. Now, you can go down to the lower time frames for your stop management because you know you're gonna find swing lows, right, that you can utilize to put that stop under, right? Hard on a daily. But if you go down to the lower time frames, you can find better stop placement. And I would just manually trail that stop. That takes the guesswork out of it because I'm in profit. If it goes, it goes.
Gotcha.
You know, that's why I like, because it's hard. That's like always the question, right? Like, because like if I know for sure I could just stay in it forever, but you never know how long these trends are gonna run. So one of the things that I've just learned to do over the years is, hey, let's take once I'm up through a couple of levels, and I don't play everyone like that, right? Because it depends on the size of the position and things like that, you know. Because sometimes you might be trading so small that you can't. But if you do let it ride and you can't reduce the trade, then definitely move your stop. You know, so that way, if it keeps going, that's a plus, right? So many uncertainties in the market, but if not, it's going to stop me out in plenty of profit, and I'm good, you know. And I used to be horrible at that because I was being greedy. So I would want to hold all my trade, my entire position, and it's like, man, take some money off the table, let the rest of it ride, adjust your stop. If you get stopped out, it's okay if you didn't get the whole move. But it was greed that was really, you know, impacting my trade management in a negative way. Because I just wanted to hold on, because I would be mad if I look back at my chart 2 weeks later and it went another 200 pips, you know. But like we always say, there's always another trade just around the corner, and that's the best way that I've learned how to handle my emotions, is because I would be mad too, right? If the trade kicked back on me and I lost all my profit, or I went all the way back to break even and I didn't make any money and I sat in that trade for, you know, a week, 3 days, you know. So I would be mad on both ends. So that's just how I figured out how to solve the issue for me.
I'm in the
And like,
middle. I'm in the middle to where, I used to always say, I put my stop in profit and I'm good with my, 20 cent and everything. But then I'll get stop in profit and price go right back. I'm like, okay, so I'm not giving the trade a chance. So then I stopped and I left my stop loss alone. But then I'm noticing like, man, you should have put a stop in place because those was the ones that didn't go
yeah,
back the direction.
yeah,
So it's like I guess it's Murphy's Law or something. I don't know,
yeah.
but
It's an inexact science,
uh,
and that, that, like I say, that's just how I learned how to deal with it
okay,
myself. Is like, okay, I've got some money off the table, and now I'm gonna let the little bit run, just like how, my game plan for the Aussie NZD coming into that daily support level, right? If we go back on that, um, because some people, include myself, it's tough to hold the entire position through a phase where you may have a correction. But this has run quite a ways. You get what I'm saying? Um, on this Aussie NZD. So this is a prime example where it's like, man, I've held through all of this, right? Bouncing in and out of profit. Now it's making this move because you do your homework and you do your top-down analysis. Hey, this is a key level that is coming to, and it's coming towards my outer trend line. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce that and move that stop down, on my position. If you're in a smaller position and you can't reduce the trade, say you're trading at 1 micro, 10 cents, then that's okay, but still just adjust your stop. And if you get taken out, it's okay if you didn't get the whole move. You're already in a positive risk to reward ratio on this setup. So that's okay. Because as your account grows, you will be able to, eventually trade at a higher lot size, and then you'll be able to close out half your position or 3/4 of your position, and manage your trade that way. But if you're in there at just 10 cents or whatnot right now, just still move it down, lock in some profit. You're in the blue. It's moved quite a ways. You're coming into key support. Let's be smart about our trade management. Get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I didn't realize I was being greedy. And plus just I was scalping on NAS and it was hard because it's a different mover. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, it's easy for like all the regular currencies because, once they move, when the direction go, you already know it's going. So it's easy. But with those indices, I was like, it's kind of hard to stay in. And I don't want to give up my good position. What I've been doing is, and I look back at the chart, I shouldn't have gave up that good position, scalping it. I should have just swung on this. So I'm just trying to find that medium, and I'm gonna be okay with my 20 cents.
Right. Right. Because yeah, I mean, it comes down to that psychology and your style, like whether you're scalping or whether you're swinging. So you're starting to figure it out. Donette shared right with the group. She said, if I get 60 pips out of the move, I take profits and let the rest ride. At 1 micro. You know, that's what she does on these swings. So
I was trying
that's
to
awesome.
graduate. I was trying to graduate because that's what I was doing, and I didn't think I was giving myself the fair chance of letting the trade run
Yeah.
because I felt scared. I'm like, I'm putting this here, and I'm fine with my 50. I was doing 50, and I'm fine with my 50. But then I was listening. I'm like, I'm scaring myself out the position. Give it a chance. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing it.
That's it. That's it. You are doing it, Donette. I'm gonna drop you some sevens on that one because that's great that you figured that out. You know what I mean? Like that you figure that out. Like, hey, 60 pips, I'm good. And then I'm gonna manage the trade from there. So that's great work. And Joy, you are doing it. And it takes time, but it took time for me to come to that realization. Like, man, this is because I'm being greedy. Like, I want it all. You know what I mean? Like I want it all. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like secure your money. Don't give it all back. You know, trying to hold the entire position. Don't do that to yourself. So that's that. Where are we? Because I gotta, let's see. I want to go and review this Euro GBP setup on this 30-minute, I believe it was. Right. And I'm going through these because we just want to show you guys, like you can, you know, some people say, hey, I only trade one pair, and the power in what we're doing is showing you that, okay, some people trade one pair, right? And they stick to that one pair. But what we're saying is you could trade this one setup across all pairs and asset classes. Everybody follow me on that? Yes, no? That's a huge difference. That's huge, right? That's huge. So this Euro GBP, okay, has been, right, back and forth like it always is. Overall, right, if you look at the higher time frame, when you quiet everything down, we are still in the middle of a long position. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So you got your long swing, okay, which I know Joy was holding, right? You got your long swing ABCD move. It's still progressing. Look at that candle on the 4-hour. It's still progressing towards the goal. Okay. Still progressing towards the goal. But look at everything that you can make, right, out of that move. So here was an 80-20 on the 30. Play it out. Here's your latest 80-20 on the 30. Right out of the zone, right? Moving up through TP2. Now, Ryan always says, you know, top-down analysis and learning how to swing trade first, right? I hope you guys are seeing the evolution in this, right? Learning how to swing trade first, helping you with your patience and seeing the larger move, because now you can take a move like this and say, well, this is the longer term direction anyway. So Joy, this kind of goes into what you're saying too, right? When you have a beat on the overall long direction, now that Euro CAD is bouncing all over the place, right? Kind of ranging back and forth. But when you look at the overall direction, like on your Euro GBP setup, well, we know the longer swing is long to the D extension, right? So when you're looking for, you know, scenarios like, okay, here's my 4-hour level, bang. If I take that down to the 30, now that I'm in this position, okay. So what do we think, Joy, in this situation? If this is my 4-hour, right, 1.618, the extension, do we think it's a possibility that this A might get taken out?
Yes.
Yes, right? So that's another way you can look at it. Besides just managing the trade and your trade psychology, sometimes you can get higher time frame confirmation that I'm in the right direction. So I might look to hold it. Still manage the trade. Hey, I may reduce the position, but there's an opportunity that I can have a higher target to let that last 50% or 1/4% run.
I
Right?
guess the conflict came in like with us dealing with the cash chef. Like we'll be in a good
Yes.
room.
Cash
You know,
was, yeah.
Cash Swiss, I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, this is the time, it's doing good. And then next thing you know, it's taking like that whole rally out. And it's like you see the potential, but because of how CAD and the Swiss work, I mean, it just don't seem prominent that it's going to get to that extension. So I think that's when I scare myself out, and then I'll close out and I'll come back the next day like, so you went ahead and went anyway. So yeah.
All right. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So this right here may be an example where .net is up 60 pips, right? And say, hey, I'm gonna reduce that down to 1 micro, adjust my stop and let it ride. Okay. So it's a prime example. So yeah, a lot of ways to skin a cat, but we wanted to make sure that we start honing in right? When we talk about trading from an income perspective, right? You know, you got your long-term wealth and then an income perspective. This is a great setup to constantly scan your charts to look for, because we've seen week after week after week, you know, month after month, that these are playing out. No matter, if you guys notice, no matter fundamentally, no matter what's happening, and no matter what the overall long-term trend direction is. Hope you guys picked up on that. That these play out no matter what. Right? So that's the Euro GBP. Let's look at this Euro yen. Because we're still pushing up quite a bit on this Euro yen. Right? Right? We talk about it all year. Long-term positional trade, you know, the move this year has been long against the yen all year long, right? You can just sit in positions, yen crosses, and just take them long, right? Because they've all just been moving up. But this Euro yen is moving long, okay? This is the major capital fib here. Okay, so this is our ABCD wave on a capital fib. Okay. A, B, C, and ultimately to our D extension. Okay, because we got a 50% pullback up against 151.40. That's a weekly level. That was spot on. Okay, so your long-term swing is to that D extension. But we know in order to get there, we have to do what? Make smaller ABCD waves. So this is a sub-fib. Okay, along this C to D move, you've got a sub-fib that's formed. So this may be one for next week, right? But I would like to see this move push up, right, into this 80-20 zone and give us a correction, right? So long-term bullish, but we know that price likes to correct. So we want to move up into our zone and then come back down for a correction. Okay. So making moves all over the chart. Okay, and this is on the 4-hour, playing off of the longer term bullish move. We need a correction. Okay. So if we so if we make that move, right, you can kind of, the beautiful thing about what we do is you can kind of forecast, right? Because we're looking for the same move, right? So if we come up into this 118, 127 zone and we correct, okay, you're looking at over 400 pips to the downside. It's about, call it 220 to the upside. So we're going to see what happens with that move on the Euro yen. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Let's look at this 1 hour. And we can see how that could come into effect, because this is an ABCD move on the 1. Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right. So we got an ABCD move on the 1 that's playing out. That's a monster move off the 61.8. Okay. For those of you who are playing those swings, to that the extension is going to be 400 pips. It's going to get there too. But with that push to that D extension, that kind of plays into our 4-hour narrative with the 80-20 zone. Okay, so we may see some exhaustion and we may get that correction. All right, so that is the Euro yen. Any questions on that? Just kind of looking ahead, right? After this 1 hour ABCD move plays out, and what that'll look like on the 4-hour, because it's a larger wave.
Benny, another piece of confirmation with that is on the daily time frame, the 118, 127 zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a look at it. It's a decent breakout, eh?
Yeah, it's just above that zone too.
Okay, it's 165 even.
Yeah, and so
Right,
I
right,
drew a
right.
rectangle right there. Yep, and pulled that down.
Okay,
So it's just above
okay.
that zone.
Got it. Yeah, so that's good confluence, right? Really good. All right. You say you drew a rectangle around it?
Yeah, I just dropped a rectangle in that 118, 127 zone, and then brought it down.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. Nice. Nice. So right at the edge of that zone. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But definitely bullish everybody, but just looking for a correction in between the move. All right, because it's moved up quite a ways. All right, that's the euro yen. Take a look at the pound Aussie. So 30-minute made his move. Okay. Made his move. Beautiful swing. Took it out. Okay. That's move. Took out TP3. All right. Took out the A. But you can see right off of a 4-hour level, and we got long. Okay. So that's moved off that 4-hour level. The highest point was 292 pips. Okay. So that's from when we broke trend line. That's so from the 2nd through the 9th, right? Over 200 pips. Okay. Now the 15-minute move. Oh, it's finally coming back. Okay. So this one, it's kind of drove me crazy. Okay. So this is where you got a decent pullback and I hadn't adjusted. Can't get to them all the time, right? So hadn't adjusted and now it's coming back. So it pushed up higher, went beyond that break-even point, and now it's coming back down. So we'll see if we can get that 15-minute move to come back down to TP1. So this one was pips away, and then it took off, and now it's coming back down. So we'll continue to watch that and see if we can actually hit that target. Any questions on the pound Aussie?
No, sir. I missed that one.
Yeah, well, I missed making the adjustment. It swung back on me. So I mean, I looked at my setup like, man. So hopefully it gets me. It's back in profit now. So continue to manage that position. All right. So that's the pound Aussie, no questions. And take a look at this pound CAD. Ryan, you posted this one, posted something on this, right?
Yeah, but I was looking for another push up into the zone that I didn't get. It came just shy of that 118 level on the 4.
Yeah, look at that, man. That's a bummer.
Yep, on the 4 and on the 1. Yep.
Oh, that one turned over. But hey, you got a direction, right? Just didn't land in our zone for that. Let's see. Yep, just shy. All right. Well, let's see how it finishes out. That pound CAD can move too. So off the back in here, off that high, it's gone 78 pips. All right, we'll continue to monitor, but it's definitely like it's turning over on us. All right, well, hey, the idea was there. So that's the pound CAD. Let's take a look at this GJ on the 15. That's where I was eyeing some things up. Look at this one. So let's look for it, see if we can catch, pullbacks and continuations down on this one. This one is trying to kind of similar to the last one we had looked at. Look at this here. So that was a huge move, and then these pound pairs exploded to the upside. But it looks like they're trying to make their way back down now. So off this leg, maybe on the 5-minute, potential pullback and a continuation down. So potential pullback and then a move down. So because that came out of the zone and moved over 120 pips on a 15-minute chart, everybody. So let's take a look at this. There we go. The 5-minute. So on this one, I would love, so here's the thing. For a 5-minute play, if this pushed down into this zone, then I would look to take a shot on it off of a trend line break. Right? But if it reverses here from where it's at now, I'm not going to buy it. Because we're looking at that larger move. So this may give us an opportunity, right, to get to a high price and then get short, right? So if we reverse now, I'll wait for a high price and then see if it wants to react back to the downside. If it pushes lower, that may be an 80-20 buy opportunity, but I'll wait for some additional confirmation, like a trend line break. That's how I'll play that scenario. Everybody follow me on that? Few different options there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And all right, so we need to get decent trend line break. Yeah. Right. A push down and then I'll do that room. Down and then a trend line break to possibly buy that short-term move. All right, so that's the pound yen. I want to go back over this pound dollar because we drew it up. This one was crazy on the 5-minute, everybody. We never got the initial move. Where's this at? On the 5. Yeah. So check this out. I think I still have it. Yeah, I do. So a couple things here, right? So on the initial move was here, how we had it drawn up, but we never got any good confirmation, just kept moving up. And then it consolidated and then it broke out and hit the D extension. But this is one of those things where we talk about alternating corrections, right? Where your bulls had total control. We didn't even get a 236 pullback and it just went to the D. Well, the very next fib, look at what it did. It just completely turned over and collapsed and actually made its way back down to the original TP1 level, So that one was a miss. It eventually broke trend line, right? It eventually broke trend line and moved down a lot. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Right? 148 pips to the downside. And now it's looking like we're trying to set up here for something, but new AB boundary, nothing quite yet on the pound dollar. So I wanted to cover that just to go back and review some of the things that we set up coming out of the weekend. I want to take a look at this dollar CAD. On the 1 hour, it is moving sideways. So let me get this out of here. right? It's moving down and now it's moving sideways, but it formed a high just before that D extension. So this is one that we want to keep an eye on here as we move throughout the day. Again, we got Chairman Powell speaking as well today, but this is on the 1 hour chart. See how it's sitting high. It started to move down. It did break trend line and then it's moving sideways, right? So if we can work on a correction there, 64 pips to TP1 on that one. All right, so that's one to look out for there. But like I said, you got small candles there. The market's moving sideways. We'll see what happens once New York opens and the day gets going on that dollar CAD. Any questions on anything that we covered today?
No, sir.
All right, lots of good movement this week. I know we went over a lot this morning, but there's been a lot of opportunity this week. And we didn't even get through everything. Ryan, anything to add before we close out?
Continue to focus on your patience and the rules in your trading plan, right? You won't catch every trade, but when you follow the rules over time, it'll play out in your favor. I just looked at that pound dollar, where most people, they'd be mad because price ran off after not meeting the criteria. And some people would try to jump in that and catch the move, right? But it didn't meet the rules, right? It's an alternating correction, and we know those happen, but did the move meet your rules? And the answer is no. So focusing in on the discipline and being very, very rigid in that. Are these rules met? Yes or no? Not I feel, not I think, not I'm trying to. But are they met? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then walk away and look at another pair, because this move, as you guys are seeing, right, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again on every asset class. So there's no shortage of opportunities. So when that feeling of missing out comes in, remind yourself there's no shortage of opportunities. What do you say, Benny? The one of the biggest lies ever told is that there's a limited amount of money. It's not. There's not a limited amount of money. In fact, the government shows us because they continue to print, right? So it can be made out of thin air. We have an opportunity learning this skill to literally create money out of thin air. But you got to be disciplined. So great session, bro.
Yeah, that's it, right? So there's no shortage of money and opportunity. We're just limited in our skill set and our knowledge and how to get it. So it's all about developing the right skill sets and the right knowledge to attract the opportunity and to attract the cash flow. That's it, right? Great session, everybody. Appreciate you all hanging in. We'll be right back tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. for the pre-New York session. Have a great day.